2019 and 2020, I produced video reports warning how the U.S. could someday adopt a version of the Chinese social credit score system. With the 2020 COVID-19 worldwide pandemic, world leaders are now ratcheting up their efforts to implement vaccine passports and other technologies to monitor their populations under the guise of COVID safety and societal compliance. I recently became aware of new U.S. patents on technology that were approved by Ehrlich and Finster and written about by ReclaimTheNet.org. The technology would surveil people's activities to provide a score, giving the potential level of COVID super spreading activities by each individual. The score would then be sent to people through their devices to gauge COVID risks and their need for additional vaccinations. It also would set up a reward and discipline system to force COVID compliance. The patent would create apps that collect a wide range of personal information from mobile devices, social media records, payment records, medical records, employment records, the government, surveillance cameras, precise location data, length of time spent at locations, as well as the numbers of people together, analyzing facial data taken from user screens, sounds from microphones in personal devices, and other facial recognition data. The patent proposes several potential surveillance applications, such as detecting when people are using public transportation using geolocation monitoring when people are washing their hands by analyzing sounds of water running, and detecting whether people are wearing a mask by viewing images taken during calls. Once the data has been accumulated, the technology analyzes the data and assigns a score to their devices. The score would predict the potential level of super spreading activity of each person, recommends vaccinations that are needed. To accomplish this, the government could mandate citizens to install a dedicated application on their smartphones or other devices with the logistics of the vaccination procedures. It could even be configured to inform on the user's location at all times and to communicate with adjacent smart devices to monitor users' interactions, the vicinity between users, and the movement of users. Factors that could determine a person's score could include somebody's profession, medical information, frequently visited locations and the nature of the visit, and the length of time spent at locations. Going along with the system will probably give people special privileges and perks, as opposed to those that are non-cooperative to the COVID monitoring will have their lives greatly restricted. The patent was approved on August 31, 2021, and goes along with governments around the world trying to force increasingly far-reaching surveillance measures such as vaccine passports. Passports will be used to exclude people from economic and social activities with apps that use geolocation and facial recognition to enforce COVID requirements. Scarier, though, is this new patent technology could be used to threaten people to vaccinate based on social credit-style scores. One other thing. Many people believe that all of these technologies will be used for not just COVID control, but for the UN's climate change initiative, Agenda 2030. Can you imagine a world where your carbon footprint and other aspects of your life will be used to curtail the comfort in your home, the travel you do, and the food you purchase? Perhaps the COVID lockdowns and restrictions were just a precursor to the technocrats' real plan of limiting your utility resources, how much you eat, how far you can travel, and making us pay carbon taxes to the international elites. Do Americans really want vaccine passports and social credit scores and the likely up-and-coming climate change and control technologies? Let your politicians know now how you feel. No doubt the coming weeks and months are going to get really interesting. This is H.A. Graves.